I think the Doctor should play guitar in every episode. Like the first part, I love the second part of this episode. I thought they once again did a very good job at suspense and keeping you guessing. Although it was fun that I found out that my theory of the Doctor being in the stasis chamber was totally right. I of course always am a big sucker for all the time travel weirdness, so I did like that they were talking across time while they were in the past of this town and Clara was in the future, and I enjoyed that apparently talking to the only smart person worth talking to is the Doctor talking to the ghost of himself, which I thought was quite cool. I am a little bit saddened that the ghosts are actually ghosts, like properly dead people, except for the Doctor. As much as I'm sad that I thought that, oh man, it'd be something really cool because the Doctor's there, I thought it was interesting how they kept leading you to believe that they were definitely ghosts, and they solidified that by showing once more this character dies, so now there's a ghost. I know some friends of mine were talking about how it kind of loses a little bit of its realism if no one's ever dying, and well, now you've got some dead people. This whole episode also just kept seeming like references to other things, which, you know, I didn't exactly mind, because when the Doctor and other sciencey dude that I can't remember his name traveled sort of back in time to their own timeline, and then they were crouching behind the barrels and whatnot, it reminded me a lot of Prisoner of Azkaban, which was fun. And then of course at the very end of the episode when the dam breaks, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like two towers. That's fantastic. I was a little bit disappointed in the Fisher King. I thought there's a lot of good suspense and build up to it, and the voice and the dragging sounds and the big footsteps, I thought that was all really cool, and even just the side silhouette of the Fisher King looked cool, but once you saw it face on, something about it just suddenly lost its scariness, which was a bit weird. Usually the monsters, they do a pretty good job, but I would have preferred if that one had stayed in silhouette. But I did really enjoy the speech that the Doctor had with the Fisher King. I thought it was a good sort of callback to all the power that Time Lords do have, and even what they will not mess with, even what the Doctor won't mess with, since the Time Lords are sort of against messing with time, but the Doctor's like, oops, he's got his rules, and then there's some hard and fast rules, like the rules of life and death. Only Merlin gets to mess with those. I did also like their explanation of how the ghosts were sort of working, and that they were electromagnetic waves, and the waves then got out of phase with the day mode, and I'm in optics right now, so we're talking a lot about electromagnetic waves and phases and interference, and I'm like, okay, I can buy that explanation. You know, maybe it's not going to be perfect, but I like that they have a plausible science explanation. And then of course the paradox that the Doctor mentions at the end that really makes Clara think is always really cool. I enjoy hearing about those, and it makes it fun, and how your mind hurts. Also with a little bit of the paradox right at the beginning of the episode, also very fun. So overall, I enjoyed this episode. I'm not necessarily happy that there's another two-parter next week, but Space Vikings. That should be awesome. Alonzi.